Well, Sarah Palin may be seriously interested in running for president next year, but some of her most devoted fans on the right could be on the verge of leaving her side. The Washington Post's Karen Tumulty writes this: Sarah Palin's odd, rambling speech last weekend before an audience of committed conservative activists in Des Moines has many influential voices on the right saying that the time has come to acknowledge that the romance has gone cold and the marriage is dead. And here's some of what she said at last week's Iowa Freedom Summit.
Another Latin word, status quo, and it stands for, man, the middle class, everyday Americans are really getting taken for a ride. That's status quo. And GOP leaders, by the way, the man can only ride you when your back is bent. So strengthen it. Then the man can't ride you. American won't be taken for a ride because so much is at stake.
Matt K. Lewis is a senior contributor to the conservative website The Daily Caller. And Matt, I welcome you. Thanks for joining me.
Good to be here.
So you were one of the conservatives who really have championed Sarah Palin over the years. Why are you and others leaving her side now?
Well, I was definitely somebody who early on thought she was incredibly talented, and I still think she was. And I think part of the reason people are now no longer sort of sticking with her is that she didn't take advantage of the talent. She didn't go back to Alaska and bone up on the issues. She seems to have, made the decision to go into reality TV and give these extemporaneous improv speeches instead of actually taking that God-given talent and really using it to advance the movement. I think the other thing that's happened, frankly, is when Sarah Palin burst onto the scene in 2008, it was a breath of fresh air. But back then, Ted Cruz wasn't around, Marco Rubio wasn't around, Rand Paul wasn't around, Joni Ernst wasn't around. There's a whole crop of young, exciting, fresh conservative leaders that have come since Sarah Palin. She helped actually get some of them elected. And I think they're really overshadowing her. And I think that's opened up a lot of conservatives to say, hey, why is she, pretending she's going to run for president? She should get out of the way and let the next generation take over.
Well, Matt, you're saying that basically she did not go back and study the issues.
I think that's right. I think that there was a real hope that after 2008 she could go back to Alaska, maybe continue her job as governor, and become more of an expert on foreign policy, on economics, you name it. I mean, she had the God-given talent, the charisma, but she lacked some experience and some knowledge. Instead of doing that, I think she kind of took the easy way out. Okay,
and that speech that we played part of at the Iowa Freedom Summit, what was it about that speech that turned some people off?
Well, look, I think that was just a straw that broke the camel's back, frankly. I mean, she's been giving for years now speeches that were rambling and pointless. And so I think that really what you're seeing is a combination of a few things. One, I think conservatives are tired of her sort of pretending, taking all this attention and pretending she's going to run, possibly causing trouble or overshadowing legitimate candidates who might be running. And I also think the fear of reprisals is gone. I mean, for a long time, if you were a conservative who dared to criticize Sarah Palin, you were in trouble. You were going to get beat up, at least on Twitter, if nothing else. And I think that sort of subsided. So she's entered into a new territory now.
She says she's, quote, seriously interested in running for president. Do you believe her, or do you think she's just trying to stay relevant right now? She may feel her waning influence.
I think that's what it is. I don't think anybody believes that she's sincerely going to run. And I think that's actually part of the problem, that we have reached this sort of Palin fatigue. She's flirted with running for different offices. I don't know if you remember a few years ago, she pretended she was going to run for president. The media were chasing her bus caravan around the country. And, it never happened. I think people have decided she is now interested in fame, interested in attention. And let's maybe focus on Scott Walker or Marco Rubio instead.
Okay. Matt Lewis, thank you so much. Good to talk with you.
Thank you.